Welcome to In the Know with the Stafford SO, a podcast of the Stafford County Sheriff's Office that focuses on cops, community, and everything in between. If you want to know more about law enforcement life and times just south of our nation's capital, then you're in the right place. Stay tuned for In the Know with the Stafford SO.
Welcome to episode 3 of In the Know with the Stafford SO. I am Kathy Volbrecht, your host for today. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have some special guests on the show. They are the Stafford County Sheriff's Office interns for 2019. I would like to welcome Colby Thomas, Mary Saig, and Tanner Givler. Welcome to In the Know with the Stafford SO. We are going to spend some time today getting to know each of our interns, but I want to start first with an overview of the program because you may know a college student who is interested in law enforcement, and this could be a great opportunity for them to explore that interest further. The Sheriff's Office Intern Program is open to college students in the community, and the program runs from late May, sometimes early June, through August of each year, and it's about 6 weeks long. Our interns work 3 days a week for about 8.5 hours a day, and they are all rotated through the various divisions of the Sheriff's Office to observe, understand, and experience the different functions of the Sheriff's Office and its roles and responsibilities. So that's a quick overview of the program. Now it's time to talk about you, our interns. Why don't we start off with each of you introducing yourselves? If you could tell our listeners your name, the high school that you graduated from, the college that you're currently enrolled in, and your major. And we are going to go ahead and start with you, Mary.
So I'm Mary Saig. I graduated from Colonial Forge High School in 2016. I am a rising senior at Marymount University in Arlington, Virginia, and I am a criminal justice major.
Okay. Tanner?
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanner. I grew up in Stafford here, went to Mountain View High School, graduated in 2016. I go to George Mason University, and I study forensic science.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Colby Thomas, and I graduated from James Monroe in 2016. I'm attending Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, studying criminal justice with a focus in strategic intelligence.
Wonderful. All right, we are going to spend the next few minutes talking about you. So I'm not going to do most of the talking. I'll ask you the questions, but we are going to just find out a little bit about why you're here, what you hope to accomplish. Let me ask you first, and Tanner, why don't you tell me, why did you pick your particular major?
That goes back a really long time. When I was little, I was really into like the superhero shows, Power Rangers, all that kind of stuff. Anything fighting crime, I was really into. So I knew that I wanted to do something in law enforcement. But then when I got into middle school, I met one of my closest friends, and his parents are actually FBI agents. Mm-hmm. So I've just been talking to them. They've kind of been mentoring me, and they just really got me interested into working into forensics, and that's really just become a passion of mine.
I've got to ask, who is your favorite superhero?
It's got to be Thor.
Thor, okay. Yeah. That's great. Mary, how about you? Why did you pick your major?
So my childhood dream was always to be a police officer, but in high school I knew I always wanted to pick a career where I could serve people, so I wanted to be a Navy nurse. So I was actually a nursing major at Marymount for 2 years. I did one round of clinicals and realized it wasn't the profession for me, but there was always that part of me that still wanted to go into law enforcement. I have uncles and a cousin who are police officers and have had great careers. My dad is a Marine Corps JAG. So after a year of taking my CJ classes at Marymount, I knew that this was the right career path for me, and I've loved it ever since.
Great. Colby, how about you? Why did you pick your major?
I remember when I was younger, I think every little boy has played, cops and robbers or, war games when they were younger. But at first at Liberty University, I actually was studying biomedical sciences, planning on becoming a doctor. I did a whole year of science classes, and I was looking into my sophomore year, and I was going to have to take genetics and organic chemistry. And I was just really questioning, wow, do I really want to become a doctor? I got 12 more years after this 4 years, and do I really enjoy science classes? I remember showing up to chemistry class, and I would question, why am I in this classroom right now? I really do not like this course. Then one day I was having dinner with my family, and my uncle was telling me about one of his buddies who's in the FBI. He drives a blacked out SUV, and he said he was showing him the in the trunk what he has in the back, and he opened up the tailgate, and in the back, he opened up some boxes and a compartment, and there was just a full-on arsenal in there. His gear, his weapons, all this kind of stuff, and I was like, wow, I really, really want to. That sounds like an amazing job to be in. It sounds a whole lot better than chemistry. So after that, I was like, okay, I think I really do want to pursue this career in law enforcement. So chose criminal justice with strategic intelligence, and have been growing in my passion and desire to want to serve the community and serve in some sort of way.
Okay. So it sounds like you all have an interest in law enforcement. Why did you apply to the intern program? I mean, the answer seems obvious, but I want to hear it from you directly. Tanner, how about you?
It's mostly because it's local. I really wanted to do something here in Stafford, but it also really helps with my college path because we can either do an internship or we could do a research project. But I just really wanted to do something that was something further down the line in my career because I plan on working here at some point.
Okay.
So it was like the best of both worlds. It's local, it's here, it's what I want to do later, and it helps my college career.
And because you grew up here, you know the community already, so
Absolutely.
That's an added bonus. Okay. Mary, how about you?
So Marymount requires an internship, so I knew I had to do an internship, and I kind of looked at different options on what to do, but I kind of settled with I wanted to do something with a sheriff's department. And when I was researching, something that really stuck out to me was Stafford County mission statement, and when they talked about how they're big on community policing, and that was something that we learned in the classroom, and so it was something that I wanted to see how that played out in real life, and I knew Stafford had a really good reputation for community policing, and something that I have seen here even at the internship. And so I knew this is where I wanted to intern, so I applied.
I think you'll definitely see examples of how engaged our sheriff's office is with the community over the next few weeks. So this is a great opportunity for you to get firsthand experience in that area. And Colby, you sound like you want to get into the federal law enforcement field, but you definitely want to start out at the local level. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've talked with people who have gone federal, and their best advice is you got to start local. I was listening to someone yesterday, I forget who, but they were saying that some of your best federal law enforcement officers were really good street cops at first. So I don't mind starting local and working my way up. So yeah.
Colby, where were you when you found out that you got the internship position?
I was actually walking, I can't remember whether I was walking back from class. I was walking back to my dorm, and I'm always checking my email constantly because I'm on leadership at Liberty as well. So I got to stay up to my emails and stuff. And when I got an email from Stafford Sheriff's Office, I was been waiting to hear back from something. So when I opened the email up, I read it, and I was like, awesome. Like, wow, like this is great. Because I applied to 3 internships for the summer and was kind of just hoping, whichever door opened, that was where I was going. So I think Stafford was the last one I was waiting on. So I was kind of like, well, am I doing an internship or I'm going to be working construction this summer? So opened the email and got a congratulations letter, and I was like, sweet, I'm excited.
And Tanner, when you found out you got the position, how did you feel?
I was just so happy. I was sitting in my physics class getting ready to start, and I opened my email to check it real quick, and I just could not stop smiling. My face was hurting. It actually made it kind of hard to focus on class because that's all I was thinking about.
Wow, so you all were you all still in school when you found out? And you just got out a few weeks ago. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mary, what do your friends and your family think about you becoming an intern?
I think they're all really excited for me, especially since I have family who are in law enforcement. But I called my mom first, and she was pretty excited, and then my dad called me from work after.
Oh, very good.
It's fun telling everyone my stories.
Now you have a great schedule filled with all kinds of activities over the next few weeks. Tell me a little bit, what were your expectations when you got the internship? What were you thinking was going to happen? Go ahead, Mary.
Well, when I saw that we were rotating, I kind of thought that we would just be doing kind of busy work for them. I didn't realize that we would actually get to go and observe and be a part of it. And so that's been something that's been really encouraging to see. And yesterday, like, we sat in court all day, which was really cool because we got to see like what we learned in the classroom be played out in like real life. And, you know, we got to see people testifying on the stand, officers and undercover detectives. So it was really cool just to be able to like observe everything and like sitting up in ECC, sitting up in dispatch and like seeing just how it all like played out. I was just so amazed. I kind of just like sat there in like awe. I was like, wow, I can't believe people can do this for 12 hours a day.
And you're only at the beginning of the internship. I know that you get to do some other things like ride-alongs. Are you excited about that?
Yes.
Yeah, you actually get out there in the community. Tanner, can you talk to us a little bit about what did you know about the Sheriff's Office before you got the internship? I mean, you grew up here in the community, you went to high school here. What did you know about the Stafford County Sheriff's Office?
I honestly didn't really know much other than like the DARE program when I was growing up.
Okay.
But I did understand that we did do a lot of community-focused things, and that really pushed me to work with the sheriff, because that's something that I think is extremely important going into the future with community policing. Mm-hmm. I really think it's really important to get that kind of connection going and humanize police officers.
Colby, how about you? What did you know about the Sheriff's Office?
Well, I remember for each of my internships that I applied for the organizations, well, if I did get a message for an interview or an email for an interview, I wanted to go in knowing a little bit about the organization. So I remember, I didn't know a whole lot. However, though, I was really looking at the Homeland Security emergency unit that was implemented and created, and really intrigued by how the collaboration between federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies is increasing with this program being implemented. So that was kind of all I kind of knew before I came in, and I'm excited to learn more though through my internship.
That's actually a great segue into my next question. What area of the Sheriff's Office do you want to learn more about? And you just said Homeland Security. Mary, how about you? Is there an area here that you'd like to get into more?
I'm looking forward to when we do our ride-alongs and we go down to the police academy to learn more about policing and being a street cop.
How about you, Tanner?
I kind of want to learn a little bit about everything, but
Okay.
I'm a little bit more geared towards forensics just because that's what I'm studying.
In school?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about what you're most passionate about learning. You just talked a little bit about what you'd like to learn more on the professional side with the Sheriff's Office. What about the personal side? Colby, what are you passionate about learning about?
I would say I'm more passionate about just learning more leadership capabilities and characteristics to help lead others, but also to be taught how to lead others, and then teach others to how to become leaders as well. I would say leadership.
And you had mentioned that you're involved with some leadership group at school. Can you talk about that a little
yes,
bit?
ma'am. Yeah, I'm not a resident assistant or an RA. I'm basically their assistant. So I
Okay.
help out with administrative work on the hall, making sure that, I don't have students trying to jump out the window into bushes, making sure that rules are being enforced. But also, too, I just create an environment, almost a second home for the students on the hall. Normally there's a lot of freshmen coming in, each semester, and so parents and even themselves can be really nervous, coming in. But I kind of want to just make it a second home and help them to feel comfortable and stuff.
Okay.
And I also help them too with kind of just like any kind of life situations, life crisis situations that occur in their life.
Okay. Mary, how about you? What are you passionate about learning?
I'm really passionate about learning about leadership also, but definitely also serving. And something that I really like Tanner just said about humanizing policing, and something that we learned back in Marymount was that, the badge and the uniform belongs to the people. And it was really encouraging because Captain Carey said yesterday up at the court the exact same thing. So that was really great to hear. And that's definitely something that you see here at the Sheriff's Office is the humility of the officers here. And every single person we met talks so highly of the other person. And so something that I'm really passionate about learning is how to serve the community and serve the department better.
I think one of the things that all of you will learn is that once you become a member of the sheriff's office, even as an intern, you're not just an employee, you become a member of the family. And you're a member of the sheriff's office family, but you're also a member of the Stafford County family. And I think you're beginning to see a little bit of that as you progress through your internship. Tanner, how about you? What are you passionate about learning?
I'm kind of focused on personal growth. I always like to look at myself and see what I can make better about myself, like the different shortcomings I have. I just want to be able to push myself, break out of my comfort zone a little bit. For like hobbies and stuff, I really like learning about movies. I like to do a little bit of filmmaking, learn the different techniques, how to make you feel certain ways just on watching a movie. I think that's really cool that just watching something can make you feel.
So are you a fan of the Avengers movies?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the last
Yes.
one? Okay. I kind of figured that. Well, what kind of skills do you offer? Let's talk about you, Tanner. I don't know if there's anything you can think of as far as your interest in movie making, but what kind of skills maybe do you think you could bring to the sheriff's office in that arena?
The sheriff's office specifically, I think because I have a little bit of a scientific background in my studies, that gives me a little bit of an advantage in the more scientific parts of it. A lot of people, I think, come in with like a criminal justice major or something like a sociology kind of background. But with my scientific background, I kind of come in knowing how certain tests are generally done, and that can really help me in that field. I also think I'm a little bit knowledgeable in like technology, so like writing papers and stuff. A little bit of research studies too. We've done a lot of that in college.
Okay. How about you, Colby? What kind of skills do you think you can bring to the sheriff's office?
I think one of the skills I bring is just a willingness just to learn, to always grow. Just kind of what Tanner, going off of what Tanner was saying, just there's always something I can improve in, and I'm just so open to a willingness to learn, and I have a motivated attitude to continually grow and to learn more and more, because I'm a college student, but even when I get into the law enforcement career, I'm still a student, and I think that I'll continue to be a student even to the point to where I retire.
And that is such a wonderful perspective to have, not just on your career, but on life in general. You are never too old to learn. You can always learn something, and you should look at every experience and opportunity as a learning experience. Mary, what about your skills? You had talked about your nursing background in school and how that changed a little bit, but what kind of skills can you bring now to the sheriff's office?
I really loved doing research. That's something that Marymount really prides itself on, is having students know how to do research. So every class you take, you're going to be doing some kind of research project for it. But I also really like what Kobe said about your willingness to learn and your willingness to constantly better yourself. And that's something that I want to work on as well.
Okay. Mary, what do you hope to accomplish at the end of this internship? At the end of your 6 weeks here, what would you like to say? Well, I did this with the sheriff's office.
I really just want to have like a better understanding on what it means to be a deputy at the sheriff's office and what we do as a sheriff's office. And something that I've been learning is that there's a big difference between what a sheriff does and what a police officer does. And that wasn't something I knew walking in here. And this morning we were talking with Mr. Newbar about what a sheriff is and what they do in the Constitution. And so just having a better understanding of how we work is something I definitely want to learn more about by the end.
Tanner, how about you? What do you hope to accomplish at the end?
I want to get to know the entire system a little bit better, but honestly, I really just want to get to know everyone here a little bit better. Kind of like you said earlier, this is a family, and everyone here is just great. And I've had a blast getting to know everyone here and getting to know what they do, their different perceptions on what this job is to them. And I just think it's great that we get to see all the different divisions we have here.
Okay. And Colby, how about you?
I think one of the greatest things that we could accomplish as interns, once we finish this internship, is to be able to help the department with a research project or with some kind of strategic goal, and to see it implemented. For example, like in previous years, some interns helped with the drones system, and that was then implemented. So I think it'd be really cool to be a part of a great family and learn an overview of the entire sheriff's office, but then also to be a part of creating of implementing something for the department, for the better use of the community, but for better police work as well.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about at the end. I mean, we talked about what you hope to accomplish while you're here. So at the end of your internship, summer's just about done. You're going back to school. What do you hope to take back with you from this experience? And we'll start with you, Tanner.
I just really want to go back with like a better understanding of how this operates here, and then hopefully give me some insight on what I want to do specifically after I graduate. I want to be able to learn more about how the things operate when I go into class. Like, I'll have an idea of how they operate here, and then I can probably compare that to what I'm learning there in class with the different studies we're doing in forensics. And then hopefully I'll be able to find my place somewhere here in local law enforcement when I take all that into account.
Mary, how about you?
I just want to take what I've learned, like what I learned here, and see where it fits in the classroom. And I've kind of seen that here, what I've learned in the classroom being played out here has been really great. So, and just taking my experiences to share with my other CJ classmates back at Marymount.
Okay. And Colby.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest things about going back to Liberty, going back to college with the internship and what I can bring back there is just, we've read the things in the books, but then now we have something hands-on. We've ourselves have visualized, and have viewed like what each division in a sheriff's office does, and so I think it'd be great to compare again from the textbook, from lectures, from professors, and then being able to compare that to the real life hands-on experience of stuff that we've learned throughout the internship.
Okay. Those wrap up my questions. Do anybody have any other comments that you would like to make, or maybe any advice that you would like to provide individuals who are thinking about applying for a future internship here?
I would just like to thank Stafford County for giving us this opportunity, and anybody who is a rising junior or senior to apply next summer. It's a great experience, and everyone here is really super friendly.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
I'm just really excited to be here. I'm really excited to see what we're going to do next. And if you're thinking about applying, just definitely do it. Even if you're not really certain, just give it a shot.
Yeah, I definitely have to thank all the people who have worked hard to put this internship program together. I remember orientation day with Mr. Newhart. He had all this stuff printed off, ready to go, and it was just really encouraging and exciting to see how much he's going to pour into us and the people in each division, the people that are going to pour into us as well. So I'm just very thankful for the individuals who are wanting to help us interns out and to find our place in law enforcement. But for advice for people who want to pursue a career in law enforcement, or even like just get internship, definitely apply, see what happens, see if the door opens or closes, because it's a great experience. And I think during an internship, it'll either be confirmed to you like, yeah, this is my passion, this is something I really want to do, or you know what, that's not what I really thought I really wanted to do. Maybe I should look in a different area. So it's great to apply and see what happens.
That is wonderful advice from all three of you. Colby Thomas, Mary Saig, and Tanner Givler, thank you so much for being an intern here with the Stafford Sheriff's Office for 2019. Best of wishes over the next few weeks. We look forward to talking to you maybe afterwards and seeing how everything went. But if anybody out there who's listening to us today is interested, as our three interns said, please go ahead and apply next summer. Actually, you'll probably want to do that in the springtime. And you can get more information on the Stafford County intern program at staffordsheriff.com. Click on the employment tab and you can get more information on how to apply. That wraps up this episode of In the Know with the Stafford SO podcast. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to In the Know with the Stafford SO. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Additional information about the Stafford Sheriff's Office may be found at staffordsheriff.com.